Now, tuition is the price of admission. You have to pay your tuition to get into the CSU. That's the sticker price.
On behalf of 37,000 CSU Northridge students, we state our strong opposition of the multi-year tuition proposal.
I'm here because my students deserve real leadership.
I urge you to vote no on an annual tuition increase.
I stand before you today to vehemently oppose the proposed tuition increase for CSU students driven by ethical and moral concerns.
We're really sensitive to affordability. This came up a lot yesterday, affordability. And we've spent a lot of time talking about affordability.
Unfortunately, every decision that comes out of the Chancellor's office, I feel more and more ashamed to be a CSU student.
I already need 2 jobs just to afford my basic necessities, even with financial aid. It will disproportionately harm Black and brown students, first-generation, international, undocumented students.
As a first-generation, undocumented student, this proposal poses a threat towards the accessibility and affordability of higher education, not just to myself, but all current and future undocumented students in the CSU system.
I want to make it very clear that my first year here at Sonoma State, I worked 4 jobs to be able to afford to live here and prosper as a leader and a student through it all. As a student who was homeless during the pandemic, I am asking you to think of me and many other students when you vote on the tuition increase. Think of the endless nights I had to live out of my 2018 Nissan Sentra.
My single mother faced with debt, who's already selling our house, is choosing to live at her workplace just so I can continue another year of education.
Today, I ask you guys how my 5 younger siblings are going to be able to afford to come to the CSU tuitions when it is their turn to come and enter this realm of higher education. My parents are already living paycheck to paycheck. I currently have 3 jobs.
Because the Board of Trustees is on their phones texting when these people are putting their time aside to come out and make a stand against this hike.
I am here speaking on behalf of all the students that you will not let in this building. Let the students in. You all get paid to represent students. You have the audacity to use police force to stop them from getting in this building and expressing their concerns about their pockets.
Now, I want to underscore this. This will only be possible to be significant if the state university grant grows as is proposed in the tuition policy and would grow if the tuition increase is approved.
I really don't know what to say to you. I am just so tired of your lack of leadership.
I am standing here before you today on multiple scholarships that cannot keep up with that tuition increase.
There are 200,000 students in the middle class who don't receive any financial aid. That number almost triples when you ask those students to go and look to their parents and grandparents for more aid.
As a DACA student, I don't rely on FAFSA. I don't get a loan that easily. While I agree that we need more money as a system, putting 40% of the CSU students to make up most of the revenue is truly heartbreaking.
Every year, the CSU spends less money than it takes in. Each year of the last 4 years, CSU managers have poured money into reserves and investments, nearly $1 billion each year. What it actually shows is that the CSU is carrying a structural surplus.
And amid all this, you justify raising tuition fees on students. Are we the ones putting the CSU in a precarious situation? Ya basta!
You have the funding to protect our futures, yet you still pit students, teachers, and staff against each other to distract from the fact that you aren't allocating money where it is needed.
Yet in this context, I find it troubling that we've witnessed an increase of almost 60% in the chancellor's and 30% in the president's salaries over the past 3 years. This stark contrast between administrative salary hikes and the financial struggles of our institutions shamefully illuminate a significant misalignment of priorities.
We are making it clear that we are the CSU. Management, you've decided that our realities are not significant. As a body, you have sanctioned our exploitation, sanctioned us as non-human. Why? To justify forsaking our livelihood, to justify forsaking students their opportunities to access and equity.
You watch your students sleep in cars from the comfort of your gated communities. While you enjoy salaries of hundreds of thousands of dollars, your students worry about where their next meal will come from.
I find it particularly upsetting that the Board of Trustees is voting to take away the very opportunities that they benefited from while doling out 20 to 30% raises of campus presidents and a $1 million compensation package for the chancellor.
We should not suffer to fill your pockets.
It is unfair
unjust, and unnecessary.
Our voices are louder than your pockets. Our voices are louder than your pockets, and you won't stop hearing us.
I hope you're ready for our voices, because there's a storm coming and it's not in your favor. So I give time back to you to look at the weather forecast.
Shame on all of you!